The sun of Zinther 5 was larger and redder than Earth's, casting long shadows over the jungle trees. Jack Harris, a young human explorer, wiped the sweat from his brow as he followed the narrow path. The jungle was alive with strange sounds buzzing, chirping, whispering wind through glowing leaves. He wasn't alone. Walking beside him was Tayla, an alien girl from the Rayleigh species. She was young, graceful, and covered in light blue skin, with patterns like falling rain. Scanned every bush, every vine, as if afraid someone was following them. "Are you sure we're allowed here?" Jack asked, raising his eyebrow. Tayla didn't answer right away. She just kept walking. Finally, she whispered, "No." Jack stopped. "No. Wait, what do you mean, no?" Tayla turned around, looking up at him. "This place is forbidden too, my people, but I trust you, human. I want you to see something. Something ... important." Jack looked around. They were far from the main camp now. No soldiers, no researchers. Just him and her in a sea of alien trees. "And what is it you want?" "Me to see?" Jack asked at Teyla pointed ahead, past thick vines and a sharp bend in the path. "There," she said softly. "The pyramid." Jack stepped forward and froze. It rose from the jungle floor like a black mountain. A pyramid made of dark, smooth stone. It had no windows, no doors, and no sign of life. Moss covered parts of its sides, but the structure was untouched by time. It was huge, almost the size of a skyscraper. "Wow," Jack breathed. "What is this?" "No one knows," Tayla said. "We are told it's cursed, that anyone who touches it dies within days." Jack gave her a sideways look. "And you? Brought me here, why exactly?" She looked down, almost shy. "Because you are different. The stories say this place does not kill everyone, only those not meant to see what lies inside. Maybe it will open for you?" Jack chuckled nervously. "You're trying to get me killed?" "No," she said. "I'm trying to help. You find the truth." Despite his better judgment, Jack stepped forward. The pyramid seemed to hum, like a soft vibration, under his boots. He walked up to the smooth side of the structure. Strange symbols ran along its edges, glowing faintly as he approached. He raised his hand. "Don't," Tayla warned. But her voice was weak, almost unsure. Jack touched one of the glowing symbols. Suddenly everything changed. The ground trembled. A loud crack echoed across the jungle. Birds flew from trees. Animals ran. The symbol under Jack's hand burned bright white, and a hidden line appeared in the stone. Then another. And another. The shape of a door formed. Jack backed away quickly as the door slid open with a deep grinding sound.
Ow.
Cold air rushed out from the darkness inside. Tayla gasped. Jack stared at the black hallway. Revealed before him, well, he said, heart pounding, "Guess it likes me?" Tayla stepped closer. "Do you feel it?" "Feel what?" "It's not just cold, it's old. It's like it hasn't been touched in thousands of years." Nodded slowly. "Then we're the first in a long time." A strange light came from within the hallways, oft blue and pulsing slowly, like a heartbeat. The walls inside were covered in the same glowing patterns. Tey hesitated. "I'm scared." Jack looked at her. "You don't have to come." Shook her head. "I do. I showed you the way. Now I walk with you." Together, they stepped inside. The stone behind them shifted. Clunk. The door sealed shut. Teyl turned fast. "No, it's okay," Jack said, trying to stay calm. "Maybe there's a way to open it from inside." But he wasn't sure. In the dim blue glow, the hallway stretched forward. The air was dry, cold, but breathable. Strange sounds echoed faintly, whispers. Maybe just wind. Teyla clutched her necklace. "My grandmother once told me stories about this place," she said. "It holds secrets and death." Jack looked at her. "Let's hope we only find the first part." They walked forward, their footsteps soft on the smooth floor. Something was waiting for them, and it had just woken up. The walls of the pyramid, seemed to breathe. As Jack and Taylor walked deeper into the glowing hallway, the air around them grew colder, but not dead. It felt alive. Like the structure itself was watching. Their footsteps echoed strangely. Too many echoes. Each step sounded like several feet walking behind them. Jack stopped and turned. "Did you hear that?" Taylor nodded. "Yes, but no one's there." Their walls were smooth and dark, with glowing blue veins running through them like blood vessels. Strange symbols blinked softly, and every few steps they pulsed, dash, thump, ... dash, as if the pyramid had a heartbeat. "Why is it doing that?" Jack asked, touching one of the walls. Taylor narrowed her eyes. "It's reacting to you." Suddenly they heard a voice, soft, faint, female. "Return." Jack froze. "Did you say something?" Tala's face turned pale. "No." Then another voice, this one deeper. "The blood of stars has returned." Jack and Taylor slowly backed into each other, eyes darting. The whispers grew louder. Not angry, not cruel, but endless. Like a forgotten choir singing in the dark. "It's speaking to you," Taylor said. "Or to something inside you." Reached into his satchel and pulled out his translator. "I'll record it. Maybe we can decode it later." But the moment he activated the device, it shorted out with a spark. Taylor looked at it and whispered, "It doesn't want you to use that." They continued forward. The tunnel curved downward now. Carvings filled the walls. Some looked human, others alien, some unrecognizable. Each figure was etched in fine gold thread woven into the black stone like hair and skin. A large mural showed a human holding hands with a taller alien woman, standing before a star. Jack reached out and touched the mural, and the floor beneath them shifted. Suddenly, the ground opened beneath their feet and they slid downward through a smooth, twisting chute of stone. Wind roared around them. Blue lights flickered past like stars flying by. Then silence. They landed hard in a chamber below. Jack groaned. "Okay, that wasn't fun." Taylor coughed. "We're somewhere deeper. I can feel it." The chamber was round. In the center stood a tall crystal pillar, humming softly. Round it were more carvings this time, showing what looked like Earth's solar system, something being erased from it. Jack walked to the pillar. His hand trembled as he reached for it. "Wait." Taylor called out, but it was too late. The moment Jack touched the crystal, the entire room lit up. The walls vanished, revealing stars, galaxies, ships, and battles moving like holograms in the air. The past, or a memory. Dozens of alien species fought together. At the center of it all, leading them, were humans. Taylor stood still, stunned. "Your kind once ruled the stars?" She couldn't speak. The vision changed. Humans were betrayed. One by one, the galaxies turned against them. The humans vanished, erased from history, covered up. Hidden, then came the final image. A pyramid, sealed shut. With a human figure inside, holding the same glowing orb Jack saw on the wall upstairs. It ended. The chamber went dark again. Tella finally spoke. "This place remembers what no one else does. Your people were not just visitors to our worlds. They were builders, leaders. Then they disappeared." Jack stared at his hand. It was still glowing faintly blue from the crystal's light. Taylor walked over to him slowly. "Maybe you were never just an explorer. Maybe you were always meant to come here." He shook his head. "I don't believe in fate." But deep down, something was changing. Suddenly, as the air turned hot, the ground shook, the walls began to close in. A robotic voice echoed. "Unauthorized presence. DNA incomplete. Test begins." Taylor screamed, "Run!" But Jack didn't run. He stepped forward and shouted, "I am human. Earthborn. I'm not your enemy." The room paused. Then the ceiling opened and stairs appeared, leading upward into red light. Taylor looked shocked. "You passed." Jack turned to her and said calmly, "Whatever. This place it's waking up because of me. I need to find out why." The spiral stairs led them up into a high-ceilinged chamber shaped like a dome. It wasn't empty. It was watching them. The moment Jack and Taylor stepped inside, hundreds of tiny, hovering orbs floated down from the ceiling, silver, silent, and blinking with pale green lights. They circled like curious insects but didn't touch. Jack raised his hands. It's friendly little guys, right? One of the orbs pulsed red for a second. Taylor gripped his arm. They are not alive. But they are not dead either, they record. They remember. The room was cold. Yet a strange warmth buzzed in Jack's chest as if something inside him was waking up with the pyramid, along the curved walls. Rows of alien symbols moved like water across the stone. Then suddenly, without warning, they rearranged themselves into Earth letters. English T-E-Y-L, gasped. "Speaking your language," Jack read aloud. "Echoes of the builders." "What builders?" Taylor asked, stepping back. Before Jack could answer, a loud tone filled the air.
Alias.
The hovering orbs rushed toward the center of the chamber. They formed into a giant floating ring of light. Inside the ring, something began to appear, a moving image. A memory. It was a room, this very same chamber, thousands of years ago. It showed humans in long dark coats, working on machines. Alien scientists stood beside them. Together, they were building something that looked like a star engine. "This is history," Jack whispered. "We're standing in the place it happened." The memory changed. Explosions, arguments, betrayal. The aliens turned on the humans. One man, the same face Jack had seen in the glowing mural, held a metal orb and ran into a tunnel. Soldiers chased him. Then the memory faded into smoke. The orb scattered again and vanished into the ceiling. Jack stepped forward, touching the center of the floor. "This chamber, it remembers everything." Tyler's voice was quiet. "They erased your kind from our history. But this place didn't forget." Suddenly the floor shifted. A round piece of stone in the center rose upward, revealing a platform, with a small object on it. It was a cube, about the size of Jack's palm, made of smooth white crystal. It pulsed like a heartbeat. Jack picked it up. The moment he did, the walls came alive again. More symbols. More English text. Key 1 retrieved. 3 remain. "Full awakening requires all keys," Taylor whispered. "There are more pyramids." Jack nodded. 4 keys. 4 truths. But then the ground shook. A sharp boom echoed through the floor, followed by another. Footsteps. Heavy metallic. The walls lit up red. Tala's eyes widened. Something's coming. From a passage behind them, a massive humanoid figure appeared. It looked like armor but moved like flesh, black and smooth, with glowing red lines across its chest. It didn't walk, it floated just above the floor. Its voice echoed in their minds, "Not in the air. Unauthorized retrieval detected. Target, human. Return the echo key." Jack stepped in front of Taylor. Not a chance. The figure raised its hand, before it could fire. Jack threw the white cube toward the pillar he had touched earlier, the moment it made contact. Blue light shot out in every direction, slamming the floating figure backward and disabling its red glow. It twitched and collapsed. Taylor stared in shock. "You knew it would do that?" Jack exhaled. "Nope, I was guessing." The pillar absorbed the cube and released a new beam of light into the ceiling. A map appeared above them, showing 4 locations across the galaxy, marked by a pyramid symbol. Jack looked at Taylor. "I think I just activated a chain reaction." She stepped forward, her voice trembling. "Then they'll all come." "Looking for you now?" Jack nodded. "Let them. We have history to correct." Suddenly a wall on the far end slid open, revealing a narrow bridge made of glowing platforms that led to a dark tunnel. More whispers followed them, repeating the same phrase again and again. "The blood of stars has returned." Jack clutched the second glowing crystal that appeared in his hand, gift from the chamber. Taylor followed him onto the bridge. Behind them, the room fell silent once again. but its echoes would carry far. Asterisk, the bridge was narrow, floating over an endless dark pit. Each step Jack and Taylor took caused the glowing tiles beneath their feet to flicker softly. The air smelled like cold metal and something older dust. "Maybe bones," Topblot whispered. "This place doesn't want us to go further." Jack looked straight ahead. "That's too bad. We're already in." The tunnel at the end of the bridge was shaped like a hexagon and pulsed with blue energy. But as soon as they crossed into it, the lights behind them shut off. The way back vanished into darkness. Now there was only forward. Suddenly they reached a circular platform. In the center stood a stone pedestal, and resting on it was a strange metallic miscantiant, but clean. It looked almost human, but with alien curves and symbols etched deep into its surface. Jack reached toward it. Taylor grabbed his wrist. "Don't. That's not a relic." Jack looked at her. "What is it then?" She stepped back, eyes wide, a face of a guardian. Before he could ask more, the pedestal cracked. The floor around them lit up with hundreds of tiny points of light. They weren't lights, they were eyes. From beneath the platform, massive metal limbs unfolded. A head rose, then shoulders, and then the rest of a towering figure. It had 4 arms, 2 legs, an armor made of black stone and shining bronze. Its voice came not from a mouth, but from the air itself, calm yet commanding. Identity confirmed. Human bloodline detected. Trial required. Jack stepped back. "Trial." Taylor shouted, "We don't want to fight." But the Guardian's eyes turned red. "To protect the Echo Keys, trial must be faced." The floor shifted. The circular room became a battle arena. Pillars rose from the ground. Blades of energy shot across the air. The Guardian floated above. The center dropped to the ground with a crash that shook the entire pyramid. Jack looked at Taylor. "Any chance this thing understands mercy?" Taylor didn't answer. He was already pulling him behind one of the stone pillars. The Guardian raised its 4 arms. Each one formed a different weapon: a long blade, a hammer, a shield, and a glowing orb. Jack peeked out. Okay, definitely not friendly. He looked at the glowing orb in his satchel, the Echo Key. He could feel it pulsing faster, like it was afraid. "I think it's linked to the Guardian," Jack whispered. "It's testing if I'm worthy to carry it." Taylor narrowed her eyes. "Then you have to show it you are." Jack stood, heart racing, and stepped into the open. "I'm not your enemy," he shouted. "I'm here to finish what the builders started, to restore the truth." The Guardian paused. "Prove your claim." In a flash, it charged Jack, dodged just in time as the massive blade sliced into the stone floor behind him. He rolled, jumped over a low-energy beam, and reached for one of the ancient consoles along the wall. Taylor shouted, "To your left!" Jack spun only, barely avoiding the hammer smashing down. He pressed his hand against the console. Symbols lit up. The Guardian stopped mid-strike. Language recognized. Genetic pattern stable. Challenge complete. The weapons vanished. Jack fell to his knees, gasping. Tella rushed to his side. "Are you hurt?" He shook his head. "Just exhausted." The Guardian knelt. Its voice softened. "Echo Bearer, rise. You have passed the trial of return. The key accepts you." A new glowing symbol appeared on Jack's arm, 3 lines forming a triangle. Taylor whispered, "You've been marked." Jack looked at the Guardian. "What now?" "Seek the next Echo Pyramid. Restore the memory of the lost. Complete the awakening." Guardian stepped aside, revealing a hidden staircase leading downward lit by green flames. Tala looked at Jack. "Do we keep going?" He nodded. "We have to. Someone tried to erase us, but now we're waking up. Together." They stepped into the unknown once, again while the Guardians stood watch, waiting in silence for the next bearer. The staircase beneath the Guardian was narrow and endless, carved from stone that shimmered like glass. Blue flames lit their path, each flame whispering softly strange words in forgotten tongues. Jack and Taylor moved slowly. The air was thick, heavy with age. Below them, a low hum vibrated through the walls, like the heartbeat of the pyramid itself. Jack broke the silence. Why did the guardian say I passed? I didn't even fight. Taylor walked quietly beside him, arms crossed. Because you didn't need to. It wasn't looking for strength. It was looking for memory. For identity. Jack stopped walking. And what about you? Taylor looked up, caught off guard. You knew things you never told me, he said, voice calm but sharp. About the markings, the legends. The way this pyramid reacts to me. Why? Taylor's golden eyes flickered in the blue firelight. Lacey looked away. Jack waited. Finally, she spoke. My mother was not like the others. She was a dream-seer one. Of the few left who could touch the ancient records, not with machines, but with their minds. Psychic, Jack asked. Tella nodded. Yes, but not magic. It's memory. My mother used to whisper stories to me, of men who came from the sky and spoke the stars into life. She said the first humans were not aliens. They were the heart of the galaxy. Jack blinked. The heart. She told me if one ever returned, the sky would change. She told me to look for a sign. I thought it was just a child's tale. Until I met you. Jack's jaw tightened. So that's why you brought me to the pyramid? No, Taylor said softly. I brought you because I felt it. When I first touched your hand, something awakened inside me. Jack's eyes narrowed. What do you mean? She hesitated, then reached under her cloak and pulled out a pendant. It was small, silver, and shaped like the echo key, only older, cracked. This was passed down by my family. My mother told me only someone with starlight in their blood could make it glow. She placed it in Jack's hand. Nothing happened. At first, then the pendant lit up, soft blue light glowing from within. Jack stared at it, stunned. Teyla stepped back. It only glowed once before. When I was born, Jack looked at her. You have human blood. She nodded. A long time ago, one of your kind stayed behind. Loved one of us. Hidden. Forgotten. But his blood survived. In me, the truth hit Jack like a wave. You're a descendant, he said quietly. Part human, Taylor looked down. That's why I've always been different. Why the others call me broken. Jack's heart ached. You're not broken. You're the missing link. Shh. Suddenly the hum grew louder. The stairs ended. At a wide circular room, in the center stood a pool of glowing water, like liquid starlight. Floating above it, another echo key, spinning slowly, waiting. Jack stepped toward it. But Taylor didn't move. Taylor? She trembled. If you take that key, everything will change. My people will know. About me. About the truth. They may hate me even more. Jack turned around and held out his hand. Then we'll face it together. Her eyes shimmered with emotion. She stepped forward and placed her hand over his. Together. They reached for the key. The moment their fingers touched it, the room exploded with light. Images flashed all around them, stars being born, civilizations rising and falling. And at the center of it all, humans guiding them, teaching, creating. Then one final image. A child, with golden eyes and human features, standing before a crowd of aliens, leading them. Jack looked at Taylor. That's you. She nodded, tears in her eyes. That's us. The light faded. The key floated into Jack's chest, melting into his skin like light through water. A second mark formed beside the first. A new triangle. The wall ahead opened, revealing a long hallway. Taylor whispered, You're not just unlocking memory, Jack. You're unlocking destiny. Jack smiled gently. Then let's go unlock the rest. They walked forward, no longer. Just a human and an alien girl, but the living proof of a bond. The galaxy had tried to forget. Asterisk, the hallway stretched far into the mountain's belly, walls pulsing with a soft golden glow. Jack and Taylor walked in silence. Neither spoke, but both felt it. Something big was ahead. They passed through an archway carved with countless names, some in Earth languages, others lost to time. Each one burned faintly as Jack walked by, as if recognizing him. Why are they lighting up? He asked. Tal's voice was almost a whisper. Because they're remembering you. Finally, they reached a vast circular room. A massive crystal floated in the center, shaped like an hourglass, its surface swirling with light and shadows. Round the room were 12 high stone thrones, empty, ancient, and cracked. This is it, Jack said, stepping forward. Chamber of Truth. Tayla stayed close behind. My people say no one who enters this place ever returns. They say it eats the mind. Jack turned and smiled. Let's find out. As he approached the crystal, it pulsed once, and the floor beneath them came to life. Holograms flared into existence. The room transformed into a vast galaxy map, but it wasn't just stars. It was history. Cities built by humans. Planets ruled by humans. Then rebellion, secret vote, and then darkness. Entire records were erased one by one. Then came a single glowing word in Earth English. Exiled. Tayla gasped. They turned on your kind. The image changed again. It showed humans, wounded and betrayed, locking their secrets. Into pyramids 4 across the stars, then disappearing. Jack stepped closer to the crystal. It reacted, spinning faster. The galaxy map zoomed in, revealing a final locked memory. The system tried to open it. Access denied. Then another voice echoed across the chamber. Not mechanical, not alien. It was human, old, tired to unlock the last memory. The bearer must give more than blood. He must give choice. Jack frowned. Choice. The crystal glowed red. 2 pillars rose from the floor. On one sat a glowing red orb. On the other, hollow space. Perfectly shaped like the echo keys Jack had found. Tayla stepped back. It's asking you to choose. Jack stared at the 2 pillars. Red Orban. Known power. Probably controlled. Echo key truth. But risk. He turned to Tayla. What would happen if I choose the orb? She shook her head. The legends say one leads to rule. It's the other to unity. But only one can open the final memory. Jack looked at the marks on his arm. 2 triangles glowing blue. He remembered the Guardian's words. Complete the awakening. He placed the echo keys on the second. Light burst through the room. The hourglass. Crystal split open and a final image appeared in the air above them. It showed a small child, half human, half alien, surrounded by people of every species. They weren't fighting. They were building something together. A voice, warm and clear, echoed, "We failed not because we were weak, but because we chose to rule, not to unite. The next age belongs to the bridge between worlds." Jack looked at Tayla. The image was. Her Tayla shook her head in disbelief. "I was born from the broken pieces, and now you're the one meant to fix them," Jack said. The crystal floated down to Tayla. It hovered in front of her chest and melted into her like water. Into skin. A symbol appeared on her neck. The same triangle as Jack's. The chamber shook. The thrones lit up. Each one projecting the image of an ancient being, human, alien. Hybrid, all watching silently. Then they spoke in unison. The circle is whole. The truth returns. The stars. Remember. Ceiling opened. Above them, the sky itself changed. Thousands of stars began to pulse across the galaxy, echo pyramids awakening. Tayla grabbed Jack's hand. "We did it. We woke them all." Jack smiled. "Now we find the others." The sky over Zinther 5 had never looked like this. Where once there were stars. Now dozens pulsed with golden light, techo pyramids awakening one by one across the galaxy. The ancient network, long dormant, had heard the call of the human and the hybrid, and the galaxy had begun to stir. Jack and Tayla stood at the entrance of the pyramid, wind blowing through the now open doors. The crystal symbols on their bodies glowed steadily like embers from a reborn fire. Behind them, the chamber of truth had sealed itself once more, but the message had already been sent. Tayla looked at the sky, her golden eyes wide. "They'll come now," some to seek truth, others to bury it again. Jack tightened the straps of his gear. Let them come. We won't be the ones running. A sleek ship landed nearby a human craft, sent by the diplomatic corps that had originally brought Jack to Zinther. Its engines hummed softly as the ramp lowered, but Jack didn't move yet. He turned to Taylor. You don't have to come with me. The path ahead is going to get dangerous. She smirked. You still think this is about you? Jack laughed. You've changed. Looked down at the glowing mark on her collarbone. No, I think I've just become who I was. Always meant to be. From the trees beyond the pyramid, others began to gather Talus people. Some looked afraid, others angry. But just a few watched with awe. A small girl stepped forward, her skin a soft lavender hue. Are you the Star Daughter? She asked Taylor. Taylor knelt. No, I'm just someone who listened to the stars when they whispered the truth. Jack offered his hand. Ready? Taylor took it without hesitation. They boarded the ship together. Inside the vessel, Jack uploaded the map from the pyramid into the ship's core. A projection bloomed in the air. 4 main echo pyramids confirmed active. Dozens of smaller nodes blinking like fireflies across the galaxy. They're everywhere, Taylor whispered. Jack nodded. We have a lot of work to do. A signal interrupted them, a transmission of unknown origin. It wasn't friendly. The screen blinked red. To the one who awakened the echo network. You have broken the seal placed by the Council of Silence. You are marked. Your survival is no longer allowed. Taylor's eyes narrowed. They're afraid. Jack smiled coldly. Good. The ship's AI lit up. Coordinates locked. First destination, Varel 7. Echo Pyramid. Status disturbed. Occupied. Stood beside Taylor at the viewport as the ship rose into the sky. Occupied? She asked. Then we'll free it. The stars stretched as the ship leaped into hyperspace, far away. In the shadows of a dying moon, high above the ruined planet of Haller, a group of tall, robed figures watched the echo stars light up one by one. Their faces hidden behind masks of bone and crystal. One whispered, "The truth walks again." Another said, "Then we send the remnants." From the dark biomechanical ships emerged, shaped like spiders, cold and silent. Back aboard Jack's ship, Taylor placed her hand over the map's core. The pyramid's knowledge flowed through her like a tide. Names, histories, and long-lost voices singing in 1,000 tongues. She wasn't just connected, she was chosen. Jack noticed the change in her eyes. You okay? She nodded slowly. The network speaks to me now. They didn't just leave behind power, Jack. They left behind hope. Jack sat beside her. Then, let's bring it back. And so, a human once forgotten and an alien girl born from hidden blood flew into the stars not to conquer. Not to rule, but to awaken the galaxy to a truth buried too long. Humans were not the end. They were the beginning.